Does this happen here again? Because we cannot create a new normal around a president nearly being assassinated, but yet that's what happened last time. Do you think this happens again here?
Well, Joe, you know, your media analysis is always spot on, and I think you're right about this in more ways than you may know. You're right. It kind of got pushed to the side, and we've kind of been ignoring all of that. And what really bothered me, if we have unfortunately, sadly, tragically covered too many school shootings over the course of our careers, all of us on this program tonight. And when you think about most of those school shootings, we know within hours who the person is. We've identified where they stand politically on social media. We start learning about their background. Maybe they had trouble or problems or whatever it happened to be. We know more within 5 hours than we learned in a month after Butler, PA, and that is troublesome.
She thinks him.
So I think that at the end of the day, that we really need more information and not less information when it comes to shootings like this, and the media needs to not ignore this. I don't want to see any elected official ever in any situation where they're threatened, and this is not political for me in any way. And I want our nation safe and secure. And that's why I don't want defund, dismantle, and no bail laws. That's why I want a border wall. That's why I want vetting for people coming into this country. I want background checks. I want health checks. I want a means test so you're not a financial burden on the American people. These are simple solutions. The American people will sort the political side of this out in 51 days, but this has got to be a top-of-mind issue. Our safety, our security in our towns and our cities, at our border, and I think America...
Wait, I don't get it. The guy is like as American as you can get. He was so American, he was exercising his fucking fundamental Second Amendment right.
Like the people that have been...
Are they just assuming now? Like, did they just collectively decide, let's just lie about who the shooter is? Like, dog, he's from North Carolina. Like, it doesn't get more fucking American than that. He is a white guy. What the fuck is happening? Like, how the fuck is this the immigrants'
free
fault?
housing, health care, education, and free sex change surgery for illegal immigrants. And most Americans don't know this yet, and voting starts early this week in Pennsylvania. Now, that is a disservice from the media that you...
Wait, free housing, free health care for Americans? Like, what? I wish.
Really fair choice in November. They need to know about this. Now, I'm going to make this challenge. And for the record, when the Biden administration wouldn't give Robert F. Kennedy Jr. a Secret Service protection, even though I disagree with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., in light of his family background, his uncle was murdered, his father was murdered, they were both assassinated, they denied him Secret Service protection for the longest time until after the shooting in Butler, and I had been advocating for him to get that. The minute after he supported Donald Trump, that was it. They took his Secret Service protection away. That, to me, they need a complete reevaluation of who in the political arena needs support. And one other issue that is political that I will bring up. We need to re-examine what happened in the summer of 2020. We had 574 riots. We had dozens of dead Americans. We had thousands of cops injured with bricks, rocks, bottles, Molotov cocktails. We had billions of dollars in property damage. Vice President Walz would not call in the National Guard. Opened up the windows of his family home to smell burning rubber, the smell of freedom, or whatever he called it. And Kamala Harris, 4 days after a police precinct in Minneapolis was burned to the ground, she was out tweeting out a bail fund to let the rioters out of jail, then goes on with Colbert and says, those rioters aren't going to stop, they shouldn't stop, and we're not going to stop. Well, Where's Liz Cheney when you need her? Because that kind of sounds like rioting and insurrection support. So I think these are political issues that I know you're going to be talking about the rest of the hour.
Well, we will for sure. Sean, it's Alicia again. I just have one more question. Just wondering, you know, when there was a reporter in that news conference earlier who said that there were 25 of us, referring to the reporters, wondering how this was able to happen. And then the sheriff said, you know, he's not the sitting president. In the room that I was sitting in, everyone gasped. Is this a moment for President Biden where he needs to, where the onus is on him to go above and beyond all protocols and make a decision? We're 51 days from the election, that Donald Trump needs the kind of protection that he deserves.
I think it's been a moment for them since Butler. I think it was a moment. I think they should have had the common sense to give Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in light of what happened to his father and his uncle being assassinated. He deserved Secret Service protection. There were a few of us that were outspoken, begging for it on his behalf, even though I don't have a political agreement with him on a lot of issues. I think that after Butler, there was some improvement. But how did somebody get within 300 yards of Donald Trump with a scoped AK-47 and have an ability come within really seconds of assassinating him again? How is that possible? That is not, for those that know.
You want to know how fucking unserious the situation is? They're basically done talking about like how devastating it is for Trump and are now advocating for more funds to be allocated to Trump's Secret Service details so he can golf. Okay? Like, my man had 2 hits, okay? One time it grazed him. The second time, the guy couldn't even fire off a shot. And like, these guys are literally like, yeah, he should be able to golf in the privacy of his own fucking private golf course. And there should be a 1 mile radius where there's no one that's ever been a registered Democrat around him. It's like, that's the main point of concern for you? Like, that's what you're actually worried about right now? Okay. You're not even taking this seriously. Why the fuck should anyone else take this seriously? And it's probably because like there's not really anything that you can say about this because, again, the dude is fucking white. Okay? The dude was a white man. So their arguments kind of fall flat in this situation. Not only is the dude a white man, but he had ease of access to guns. Okay? And in that situation, you can't really fucking do anything. You can't really do anything because not only is he a cis white guy, okay, he's like, yeah, sure, he's pro-Ukraine, okay, insanely pro-NATO, very anti-China, whatever. But like it doesn't comfortably fit any narrative that they want to slot into. That's why Sean Hannity just like didn't even talk about his background and immediately starts talking about how like immigrants are doing this somehow. You know?
Around Trump International Golf Club, where the former president was playing around today. Here's how the Palm Beach County Sheriff answered that question.
At this level that he is at right now, he's not the sitting president. If he was, we would have had this entire golf course around it. But because he's not, the security is limited to the areas that the Secret Service deems possible. So I would imagine that the next time he comes to the golf course, there'll probably be a little more people around the perimeter. But the Secret Service did exactly what they should have done.
Is there any info about the shooter? Go back and watch the VOD for the past like hour and a half. We dove into his background. He's fucking nut job, like a total fucking nutso.
Out from a chain link fence surrounding the golf club. The agent fired off 4 to 6 shots and was just one hole of
total nut job and also a major libtard, like incredibly pro-NATO, former Trump voter, turned into a never Trumper, former Republican who voted for Donald Trump in 2016, became a never Trump Republican, and was a single issue voter. He was John Nadeau.
Two backpacks with ceramic plates, essentially the same kind of plates you find in body armor. And a GoPro camera was also recovered. The suspect was just 300 to 500 yards away from the former president. The Palm Beach County Sheriff said it's not a long distance when a scope is involved. And we just heard Sean say the same thing. That suspect has been identified, according to Fox News, as Ryan Wesley Ruth. Now, a witness saw him fleeing in that Nissan SUV, took a photo, quick action, took a photo of the license plate, alerted police. The suspect, Mr. Ruth, was then nabbed in nearby Martin County to the north while traveling on I-95. There are those plates I told you about from the backpacks that were recovered at the scene, and you can see the AK-47 style rifle that was recovered. Now, Trump International Golf Club is just a 12-minute drive from nearby Palm Beach and Mar-a-Lago. Of course, that's where the former president resides, just 4.5 miles away. It's not clear how this potential assassin was tipped off. This was not on any of the former president's schedules. Nobody knew he was going to play except for his inner circle. Of course, the former president likes to play golf. There's no secret there. It's just not clear right now how this potential assassin was scoping out the former president. Did he follow the motorcade out of Mar-a-Lago and then go to the club, or was he already waiting there when the president teed off this afternoon, Molly?
All great questions. Lucas Tomlinson giving us a great breakdown of all the information that we have so far as we get ready to continue asking more questions. Lucas Tomlinson from the White House, thank you. There are questions about security for the former president, of course, questions about how this happened. We have former FBI agent and Fox News contributor Nicole Parker joining us now. Nicole, thank you for your insights tonight. As we've watched all of this unfolding and a lot of the unanswered questions, we're looking for information more about this suspect. What are your insights about what we know and what we can gather from the nest there on site as they continue to go through the vehicle and the house and seek more information?
Right, I have a few comments. First of all, I've been watching your programming. Sean Hannity is spot on. I don't know how many attempts against President Trump it's going to take for them to realize he deserves the full amount of security possible.
No, I don't think they should do that. Because I think it's so funny. I love that. I love that.
And I imagine his family, I mean, his loved ones, they have to go through this again. And the election, you know, we've got some time to go. And he is very much on people's radars, and we know this. And Christopher Wray has come out and talked about all of these threats. Iran has threats against President Trump. We have local, officials saying that President Trump is a huge threat to democracy. Do you think that is going to embolden individuals to say, you know, I've got to do whatever I have to do to get rid of him? That rhetoric has got to end, regardless of where you stand on the political spectrum. Violence is not okay. And violence against any political individual is not okay. Violence against any American is not okay. And I think we've almost become numb to it because of many points that Sean Hannity made. People pouring across the border. I mean, it is extremely dangerous. But in light of this specific incident, they mentioned, you know what, he did get more detail as a result of what happened, on July 13th. Well, where was that? I live here in South Florida. I was an FBI agent in the FBI Miami division. I've been to Palm Beach. I've been to that golf course, and that location where he was, there's a bus stop literally within a couple hundred feet from that golf course. Any individual can go up to that chain link fence or wherever it might be. Hedges are not enough. They are not enough. We must honor and respect the Secret Service agent who was able to see that muzzle sticking through the fence. I mean, that is impressive. And again, coming from law enforcement, I can speak from personal experience. They changed the deadly force policy for DOJ after the summer of 2020, and it really felt like they were giving less protection to the, and specifically for us, the FBI agents. I know that's a similar sentiment likely throughout all of law enforcement, where when you are faced with a task, a threat, you do start to double and triple guess yourself. Am I authorized to use deadly force? Because now they come after law enforcement. They'll say, you know what, you weren't authorized and now you're going to get charged. We saw that happen quite frequently.
They're having, dude, this is awesome. Everyone's got their own pet. Everyone's got their own pet project. It's like, yeah, this is because they're just not like, they're mistreating law enforcement officers. You know? You know, the Democrats might approve the additional. Oh, they 100% will approve the additional security. Are you kidding me? They're pussies. They shouldn't. It'd be really funny. It would be really funny if they didn't. But of course, Joe Brandon will do that. Are you kidding me? They literally immediately ran with like, "Oh, we're so sad." Whatever. All this
investigating this is the FBI. Is that seems to me to be a place that you might start to try to get to the bottom of, well, who did know he was playing today?
And that's an excellent question. And frankly, that's one of the questions I have. And listening to all of the reporting as an investigator, I'm sitting here writing my own list of questions, and that is definitely on my list. I want to know, first of all, and I'm just going to kind of run down a few of the questions I have. First of all, is the suspect talking? Is he talking, or is he stayed quiet with law enforcement? And I want to know what he's saying. Was that GoPro active? The camera that he had, was that activated or was it not? The social media accounts, what did he last post? What is his grievance?
We already know, dumbass. You should have just looked it up. Former FBI. Is the FBI really hiring fucking dumbasses like this? God damn, no wonder they've fallen off.
Emails, the digital footprint.
They used to like infiltrate revolutionary groups and shit and like assassinate black leaders and stuff. Now they got this lady over here being like, "That what was his last text message? I want to know." God damn, dude.
Having worked these types of investigations, I worked the Caesar Sayoc pipe bomb case in the Miami division, and we immediately impounded the vehicle. It was taken back to the FBI field office in the Miami division, and you execute a full search warrant. There is not one aspect that goes unnoticed when you're executing those warrants. And I know some very amazing FBI agents in the Miami division. The SAC for the Miami division mentioned that all resources will be offered. The evidence response team and others, they're going to be meticulously conducting this investigation. Again,
we went through literally every single one of the suspects' tweets. They are hilarious for those of you who are wondering. Yeah, they defunded the FBI, brother. What the hell is this? I mean, it's right here. A lot of them got deleted already, I'm pretty sure. But they're just really funny overall.